Hey everyone, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Welcome to the Hotel of California. Now, if you lived in California or if you're paying really any attention to it, you know that this state is just all sorts of screwed up and down. Everything's wrong, nothing's working correctly, cost of living keeps going up, problems keep arising. It just seems like no matter where you look, there's either corruption, criminal type activities, extreme activists walking around like they own the place. Like there's just problems everywhere, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Recently, I was listening to a podcast, and this event right here just came to mind, which doesn't surprise me because also if you go around in California, you realize that not only all these problems I'm talking about keep getting worse, but homelessness keeps getting worse. And for some reason, we keep throwing all this money at it, and the problem's not going away. One of the last articles we talked over, kind of discussed like how it just wasn't being properly used, Section 8 housing and other types of housing programs that take homeless people off the street or violent felons off the street, whatever, and throw them in the homes and houses and apartments that in neighborhoods that really they're not going to blend well, just causes more problems than not. Well, it also just seems like we're always just struggling to house these people, give them programs, all sorts of issues with funding and programming abilities that just never seems to go away. And recently, and I guess back in April, there's big issues with this individual right here and the organization that she was heading that was receiving a ridiculous amount of money and was why I've been able to find out here, misappropriating those funds. So let's get into it a little bit. All right, so head of LA Homeless Services resigns days after county votes to pull $350 million from troubled agency. Now, let's think about this for a minute. $350 million. And that's just LA. Who knows where else this organization was getting funding from? I mean, you go around, you get ads, or you go to the grocery store or whatever you're doing, some online shop, whatever you're doing, right? You'll eventually get hit with some kind of ad say, hey, help the homeless, help these homeless children, blah, blah, blah. More often than not, ask you for money, which again, it's always a mixed bag because unfortunately, a lot of charity events or charity organizations, they take a huge cut of what you fund. So if you give $1, I think it used to be like give $1, like 80 cents goes towards the bureaucracy of it, and then only 20 cents makes it to the actual cause. But anyways, I digress. So this organization had $350 million pulled from $350 million. Like think about what you and I could do with $350 million. Think about what you could do. Think what you could do. No, what entire city could do with $350 million. Not even talking about homeless individuals, just regular people, just whatever. Pick 350 random citizens and give them $1 million. Just there you go. Obviously, California's gonna take a huge cut, so like what that's like 30% or something. It's ridiculous thing like that, maybe more. But anyway, let's say it's 30%. $700,000. Think what you could do with $700,000. I could reinvent my entire life with 700 grand, and there could be 350 of me that completely reinvent my life. And I don't even need that much. I could like a quarter of that could really quickly reinvent my life. This organization with $350 million still couldn't get their act together with the homeless. Because you go down, I was down at Los Angeles. There's homeless everywhere. It's still a huge problem. And it's all over this state. I think it was $34 billion total was spent in California's homelessness that Gavin Newsom, of course, doesn't know where it went. I'll tell you I know where it went. Her clothes, designers, probably her house, probably her staff's house, cars, fancy dinners, fancy events. Like let's get real about this. We all know where that money went. If $350 million was actually spent on one city to fix homeless, that there would be no homeless problem. Poof, gone. You'd have well-built or even old converted hotels, old converted hospitals, whatever. Because that's really what the homeless need. They really need a hospital. I worked hospital security for a while, and homeless people would circulate, and people with mental problems would circulate in and out of there all the time. All the time. They had a psych ward. It was just constant cycling rotation. And I wasn't there long enough to see the full cycle of everyone, but the guards I talked to, they would see it. Just continuously in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. It was ridiculous. Okay, so let's talk about this article a little bit more. Read from it. After a bruising week that saw the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority lose a large chunk of its funding, good, the agency's had announced Friday she will be stepping down. Leisha Adams Kellum, who joined as the agency's chief executive officer 2 years ago from LA Mayor Karen Bass. Now, Karen Bass, remember, is that one who's on vacation. I think she's in Mexico or Brazil. I think maybe she's in Brazil. Yeah, I think she's in Brazil. During the recent LA fires where everything just burned and there's no water because, Gavin Newsom got to take that water and put it somewhere else. Like, even water's politicized in California. It's like, it's all political, all of it. And it's all just bureaucratic nonsense that they utilize for their own gain and for everyone's loss. Anyways, so Karen Bass, I'm not surprised to hear that this lady is also part of her failed Karen Bass administration. It's just, it's so corrupt. We really have no idea. We really don't. But earlier this week, county leaders voted to strip the agency's funding in favor of channeling resources through a new county department. Oof. Hopefully this new county department actually has its act together. I doubt it, but we'll see. They said it would provide more oversight and accountability. This always blows my mind. Like, the amount of effort and trouble and personal responsibility we have to take just getting a job. Like, you have to hand them over all your information, your address, social security number, basically everything. Like, they get pretty much almost everything about you. And oversight, taxes, all that stuff. Think about the IRS too. Like, you have to, like, basically share all of your personal information with this government entity just for you to pay them taxes. But the amount of oversight and accountability for these people to receive almost limitless amounts of your taxpayer dollars, and there's almost no oversight, no accountability. It's just, really, this is why I always say, you're either involved with politics or politics is involved with you. And you're going to be the one getting bent over that barrel and taken for a ride because politics does not care about you at all. $350 million. Wow. All right. LAHS is, that's the name of the organization. LASA, we'll call it LASA. Next largest funder is the city of LA, and city officials are exploring an exit from funding the agency. So the county is the agency's the county itself, providing nearly $350 million a year. And then LASA's next largest funder is the city of LA. So not only is the county getting rid of them, but the city also is pushing to get rid of them. $350 million. In recent months, multiple audits have found serious accounting and oversight issues at the agency. The most recent audit, released in March in connection with a lawsuit brought against the city and county of LA, prompted U.S. District Judge David O. Carter to describe officials' failure to track billions of dollars in spending as a slow train wreck. Because they're all partying and having a good time. They're having a great time, that money, with your money. This is our money. Let's not pretending like this is government money. No, it's not. It's our money that they took from us. And I think that's the problem here is that, again, like I said earlier, when we go through all this hustle and bustle to make sure we're paying the right amount of taxes, otherwise we're going to get in trouble. You're going to get audited. You're going to have to pay more. Like, we have failed to properly audit and keep track of what the government is doing. And I get it. People are busy. They got family. But you know what? You really need to stop for a minute, turn off the TV, put away the phone, take an hour, at least an hour worth of your time every week. An hour. Just spread it out if you have to. And take a look, see what these pricks are up to with your money. And actually pay attention and look into things before voting for it. Because they're just going to keep taking advantage of you. Like, I always vote no. Always vote no. Whenever they ask for more money, I say no. No. You need to learn to properly manage your money, government, not keep asking for more and more and more. And it's cases like this. Billions of dollars. I talked earlier about $350 million. Now imagine billions of dollars. Like, I could change an entire city's landscape with $1 billion. I could change everyone's lives for the better. Like, it would be a completely different city in a short span of time. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. The crows would come. The scammers would definitely come. But hell, I could even hire people to help keep people out of getting scammed with that kind of money. And then you mean to tell me that these people couldn't fix the homeless problem, or at least build shelters, properly maintained, properly audited, and properly staffed shelters for these homeless people with billions of dollars? This is why we need to get rid of Gavin. This is why we need to completely turn this state upside down, inside out. But the problem is, these people are stacked in here. The bureaucracy, the low bureaucracy is insane. And it's because not just us, our parents, and our grandparents, we're all sleeping at the switch. All sleeping, all we're taking a nap, all we're enjoying the good times. And all these disgusting criminal scammers made their way in. Okay, I think I beat this enough. There's definitely way more information here. I'll post both the articles like I usually do. And you know what? We'll see you next time, because next we're going to talk over again a little bit about how Gavin Newsom dug his way out. Dug his way out of getting recalled. And you know what? There's plenty to cover. All right, we'll see you next time.